Hi everyone, my name's Dawn Wood and I'm the instructor for this course, Global Business Skills for Spring 2020. Excited to be talking about globalization and internationalization in this really exciting time in the world. There's so much going on internationally with trade and with interactions between different cultures and different countries. We have a lot to talk about. So this is going to be a busy semester with lots of good examples. This video is to go over your syllabus. So as in any course, the syllabus is a critical tool for you to understand the expectations of the course, how the grading will be done, and basically just the learning outcomes and what you need to be doing to be successful in the course. So I hope the syllabus will be helpful to you. So let's just go through it briefly. I mentioned that in the other video that I will try to post a video at the beginning of each week, and then that will also help you to understand expectations as we go through. So on your screen here, on your Global Business Skills 2020 Spring course shell, you will see that we have the syllabus here right under the Start Here. So hopefully you've already watched the Start Here video that I had created. And then this one, the syllabus, has a video that you're watching right now. And we'll just go ahead and open up the syllabus and go through it step by step so you kind of get an overview of what I'm thinking besides just the text here. So my office location is in Lynn Hall, 1154. That is on the Cedar Rapids Kirkwood Community College campus. My office hours are here. I'm always available by appointment. Also, not just in my physical office, but also in my virtual office, this one that we're in right now, where you can set up a Zoom meeting or Skype meeting or Google Hangout or whatever you so desire in order to talk to me. Would love to do that so that we can connect on a more personal level. As far as connecting with me with questions, we can do that by appointment or Zoom, or really the best way is by email. If you email me, I will be back to you within 24 hours on weekdays, 48 hours on weekends, unless otherwise noted. Because of my job as the International Programs Director, I do travel substantially, so there'll be like a week in March and a week in April where I'll be traveling, so there could be slight delays during that time, but I'll let you know where I'm traveling to and maybe post some pictures for you of my travels so those can hopefully help you get a feel for the places I'm going as well. The course is online. Assignments are normally graded pretty quickly. I try to keep the grade book that's here on your Talon screen up to date so you can always check how you're doing by checking the grade book. I keep that very up to date and try not to fall behind by more than a week, ever really. It's a 16-week course. It's 3 credits. We'll be focusing on the fundamental global business skills needed in today's global business environment. So you'll learn about globalization, we'll examine different cultures, learn about different cultures, learn how to talk about different cultures. We'll talk about a lot of the ethics involved, and we'll be using these 2 textbooks. Writing the Waves of Culture, I actually have those here in my handy dandy desk. Writing the Waves of Culture and Working Globe Smart. So these 2 books are key resources for you in this course. And you'll be expected to use these books in your discussion forums and in your assignments. So be sure to get both of those books and utilize them in the course. As far as Kirkwood student learning outcomes, this course provides you with collaboration and teamwork, communication, diversity and inclusion, ethical reasoning, and information literacy. And then here's the course learning outcomes specific to this class. First of all, you'll be able to identify key global business issues and trends, demonstrate knowledge of cultures as it applies to oneself and others. Again, ethics. Ethics will be a big component, talking about different perspectives on ethics and how some cultures have different ethical standards than others, and how does that impact your business dealings that you have to do. Those are really hard things to understand. We'll talk about cross-cultural skills and relationship building. Really, that is the key. I mean, in any business, you know this, even local business, you have to be able to develop relationships. That's key to successful businesses. But when you're dealing with different cultures, that requires a different set of skills. And that's what this global business skills is all about. How do we develop relationships with people who are from different cultures that are very different and have different standards than what we're used to? Let's see, we'll choose a culture to focus on in the final project and prepare that as your final grade. So there's no final exam, but there's a substantial final project, and I recommend you get started on that early so that you don't get overwhelmed at the end. Here it talks about my late work. I don't accept any points for late discussion. The due dates are very well outlined in the syllabus and in the weekly class schedule I mentioned. And so if you are going to have any absences or be traveling or whatever you're doing, you can work ahead. That's fine with me, but you cannot be behind. We need to always make sure your assignments are in on time. Here in this classroom communication is a good resource here for online etiquette. The most important thing one of the most important things in this class is the discussion forums. And we're going to be talking to each other about some very sensitive things, and maybe even opinions are going to come out. We need to be respectful of each other and use great online etiquette when we're discussing things that will help us to have a productive conversation. So take a look at those. Academic dishonesty, that involves plagiarism. Copying others' work is not allowed. Do not cut and paste from websites, okay? That is plagiarism. If you're going to cut and paste, you need to cite that as a direct quote and put the resource there or the reference into your posting, okay? No cutting and pasting from websites, from other articles or other people's assignments. It has to be your own work, so you can review that policy there. Of course, campus closings don't really apply to us because you can still do your work online regardless of whether the campus is closed. Academic accommodations, if you have any need for that, please, please, please reach out to our accommodations office in Learning Services. They are so helpful and can help you get that on file and give that to me. Give your accommodation information to me before the class starts. That would be great, or at least during the first week or two. Midterms grades, I will calculate midterm grades and post those during week 8. You'll see those up, and that'll help you assess how you're doing. Your grades criteria are 40%, that's a big chunk, on your weekly discussions and assignments. So participation is critical, and understanding the criteria and the rubric for grading your discussion forums is important. We'll have some weekly content quizzes just to check that you're doing the reading, because there's a lot of reading in this course that you'll do on your own and take those quizzes. And then the remainder of the 30% is your final project. Also very important, and again, encourage you to work ahead on that one. So what about the weekly discussions? Important things to remember. 1, you must post an initial response on Wednesday by 11:55 p.m., and that has to be a minimum of 150 words, and it needs to be substantial, and it needs to draw upon course materials, text, use citations, cite your references, and post something substantial that's unique, and it has your own touch to it. So that is the discussion initial post. Okay, so 1, you need to do an initial post. 2, you need to post a minimum of 2 follow-up comments due on Friday. Okay, so initial post on Wednesday, follow-up posts on Friday of each week, and those have to be a minimum of 75 words. And please pay attention to this section right here. Stating that you agree with your peer or evaluating your peer is not a substantive response and will not get you points on your discussion. Refrain from saying good post or I agree. Instead, ask a question. Challenge your peer. Add to the conversation by adding an article that you did on your own, outside research to contribute to something that your peer had said. These are all good ideas, and you'll see in the rubric it explains to you how to get 2.5 point points for knowledge, collaborative, communicative, and substantive responses. So these 4 right here, if you do those 4, you'll get all 10 points, which is wonderful. There are a few assignments that are listed on that weekly schedule, and those are like separate papers that you will do, and those are graded based on thoroughness and on answering all the questions in a thorough way. The weekly quiz, most weeks do have a quiz. They're primarily multiple choice and true false, just checking on your reading to make sure you are able to digest the content of the reading. And those are due on Sundays. So assignments are typically due on Sundays, and so are quizzes, discussion forums, initial posts on Wednesday, reply posts by Friday. This lists your drop information, the last date to drop, and then in the syllabus we have a lot of information about the final project, which you can also find a lot of information about the final project in the final project folder in your course content on Talon. And we'll go over the final project in detail in a video on that tab, so I won't touch on that so much here. And in addition to that general syllabus format, I've also attached the weekly schedule here, which you also found in the Start Here section, outlining the week, the dates of the week, what the theme of that week is, the readings, which graded discussions you're going to be doing, your quiz. If you have a quiz, you'll see like here, week 5, you don't have a quiz. Week 6, you do. And then assignments. So the first week you'll have an assignment, the class cultural profile survey. 5th week you'll have an assignment as it goes down the line. And I don't have anything for spring break week, by the way. So hopefully you're doing something fun then. Okay, that covers the syllabus. I hope that gives you a good overview. Best of luck. If you have questions, please let me know. I look forward to hearing from each of you individually throughout the course of the semester. Thanks.